Hi everybody, Penny here. Welcome to my kitchen. So today's video is going to be a lemon and currant loaf, and it is delicious. I've already tested it and it was awesome, absolutely awesome. So I'm really looking forward to that. But first, I'm going to give you a little kitchen tour, and it's a little kitchen tour because she's a little kitchen. So when we moved in, this was it. Fridge, stove, sink, dishwasher, all in this little corner. This was it. So over here, I've decided to make this like a breakfast, tea, coffee, toast station. So we have our kettle, our toaster, tea bags, and berry drinks, instant coffee most of the time. And of course, all of our mugs and everything are up there. So that's the breakfast station and the dishwasher. Of course, we have a double sink, which is wonderful. But it does eat up a bit of the counter. If I were to do it again, I would put a single sink, because it would give just a little bit more counter. But over here is the corner, and the corner has a beautiful large corner cupboard up top and a lazy Susan and everything down here. We put in or installed the magnetic knife holder, which is wonderful. Lovely corner for my smaller KitchenAid. My bigger KitchenAid is downstairs because of course there's no room up here, but we'll get to that another day. Also, like things like the Instant Pot, my crock pot, different things like that I don't use every day are all downstairs, but that's okay. That's a bit of exercise going up and down. So then we have the microwave and we have the stove. I love this stove. We bought it new and it's a Whirlpool, and what I really like about it, I've never seen before, is it has this little rack that if I have something on the bottom rack, it has 3 racks. If I have something on the bottom rack, this can be removed. Like if I have a turkey or a large, roaster or pot of some kind, that can be removed to make more room. I thought that was awesome. Then we have Barry's favorite machine, which is our toaster oven / air fryer. And of course we have the fridge. And of course, it's a little kitchen, so you have to utilize the space over the top of the fridge. And then if Barry wants to come around this way, this is the hallway leading to the bedrooms and whatnot. And this is what we've done on this side. So the first thing we did was install the pot rack, which I think it looks like kitchen jewelry, kitchen bling. I think it's awesome. Then I realized that this shelf, behind this shelf is the stairs going to the basement. So this was kind of like wasted space. So what Barry did for me was he put in a couple of wooden anchors and attached these 2 chair rails. It hasn't been painted yet, but that's okay. We'll do that in the summer when it's nice and warm. And it just perfectly fits these canister sets, which is fantastic. And this we had in Ontario, in what I called my back kitchen. So rather than, of course, having to install another electrical unit and whatnot, we hooked that up. And then we also have this little bar here for my oven gloves, my silicone bowl toppers, and just a couple of small frying pans that I sometimes use, like, if we're just frying an egg or something like that. This, of course, is a kitchen cart that we've had for many years, and it fits perfectly in that corner. Nice big drawer, 2 double cupboards on the bottom, and it's on wheels, so it can be moved. Then I got this little unit from Wayfair, and it has drawers on the front and more cupboards for more storage, which of course in a little kitchen you really need, and some more workspace. And it too is on wheels, so it can be moved. So then we put in these shelves. I still haven't filled up my little spice jars. I have to try and remember to get pretty little labels for them. And I don't want to put stuff in them without the labels because I may not know what's in them and then use the wrong thing. So I don't want to do that. And then we've got 2 other shelves here that we're going to use for display items. But I haven't quite figured out what I want to put there yet. So that's the tour of my kitchen. I hope you liked it, and we'll be back in just a minute as I finish getting this stuff prepped for our lemon and currant loaf. Hi everybody, back again. So, like I said, from Newfoundland Recipes, just a little teeny tiny cookbook. we're going to make lemon and currant loaf. Now the recipe itself says it makes 2 loaves. When I did the test batch, that would have been 2 really small loaves. And I don't have small loaf pans. I just have the big ones for bread. But if you have smaller loaf pans, it will give you 2 lovely small loaves. We're going to make 1 big one. Or you could easily get 12 medium-sized muffins. And those would be really good too. Okay, so we are starting with 1 cup of softened butter. I, of course, have put that in the microwave for like 35-40 seconds to melt it. It calls for 1.5 cups of sugar. We're only going to use 1 cup. And that's what I did when I tested it as well, and it was perfect. So if you want it sweeter, if you like things to be sweeter, by all means, add the 1.5 cups. So we're going to beat this, then we're going to add 3 eggs, 1 at a time. And then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 cup of milk, and we're going to rind and juice of 1 lemon. And then we're going to slowly fold in 1.5 cups of flour and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And that, of course, helps it rise. So I'm just going to stir that up a little bit. There's no salt in this recipe. I guess you get enough of the tang, the saltiness from the lemon. Okay, put that over here. And we have 1 cup of milk we're also going to be adding, and 1 cup of currants. So let's just make sure I got everything. Okay, 1 cup of butter, 1.5 cups of sugar. You can reduce it to 1, 3 eggs, 3.5 cups of flour. It's a good thing I reread the recipe because I only have 1.5 in there. So we'll have to fix that. And 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 cup of milk, and 1 cup of currants, and the rind and juice of 1 lemon. Now preheat your oven to 275, and it's going to take approximately 2 hours to cook because it's a very dense dough. But check it out at like 145, and it may end up in there to be like 2 hours and 15 minutes. So depending on your oven, that could be a little bit different. Okay, so wow, we have to fix the flour. So let me get a 1 cup. Barry, could you pass me a knife out of the drawer, please? I love my new baking station. It's really cool. Really, really cool. Thank you. So I only have 1.5 in this bowl. Whew, I'm so glad. And we are going to do 2 more cups. There we go. I always show you my mistakes as well as my successes. Because, you know, this is my kitchen. This isn't a studio. It's just my kitchen. And sometimes we make mistakes. And sometimes we make beautiful, beautiful things. Okay, so I'm just going to lay that there out of the way. Close up the flour. And here we go. We've got the baking powder. So we'll close that up. Daisy's going to start barking. There we go. Now, here we got our butter and our sugar. And we have to add the eggs 1 at a time. Now the reason for that is if you add them all at once, they're not going to incorporate properly into your butter and your sugar. Now, there we go. Egg number 1. Thank you, Barry. And this is egg number 2. So far, we got no shells that I'm aware of. Nope. Good luck. go with egg number 3. There we go. There. Now we'll just give that a little scrape down the sides to make sure that we don't miss anything. Get it all nice and incorporated. So before we give it another whisk now, we're going to add our milk and our vanilla. We're going to do that a little bit at a time, because if I go to turn on my mixer with all the milk in there, it's going to splash everywhere. Vanilla, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. There we go. Just 1 generous teaspoon. There we go. And that's the vanilla. Now, we're going to add the zest of the lemon. I was so focused on the kitchen tour, I forgot to wash my lemon. So I'm going to wash the lemon and zest it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so our lemon is zested in this little bowl right here. So we're going to take, I have a lemon squeezer. If you don't have a lemon squeezer, you can simply squeeze it with your hands. Be careful, of course, to take out any seeds that might be there. Or what I sometimes have done is, okay, you know the tongs? Put the lemon in between the tongs and then squeeze, and you'll get all the juice out, which is really cool, without, if you don't have enough strength in your hands. Okay, so now I'm going to squeeze out the lemon. Oh, it's a big lemon. Now, you know what? I'm going to use the tongs. Give me 1 second. Barry's going to talk to Daisy, and I'm going to get the tongs so I can show you. So I'm going to squeeze this into the same bowl as the zest, and I'm just going to give it a hand squeeze once, and then we're going to take it and squeeze it with our tongs. And that gets out lots and lots of juice. So we're just going to turn it around, squeeze it again, move it up a little bit, squeeze it again, and squeeze it again. That's grand. I got 1 little seed. Take that out. They're little slippery little buggers. Okay. Give it a squeeze with the hand first, just to get it not so round. There we go. And we're going to put it in the tongue and squeeze. Oh, I squirted it everywhere. Now this calls for 1 lemon. Of course, lemons are different sizes. I would venture to guess that you would need at least 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. If you don't have access to a lemon, I think you would get away with using the bottled lemon. But the lemon zest really adds a lot of flavor. Okay, hands are full of lemon juice, and that's okay too. All right, so now we're going to put all of this in our main bowl, and the lemon juice may curdle it a little bit, and that's okay. It's meant to, so don't worry about that. I'm just going to give it a little of this. I'm going to lay this over here. Just get it out of the way for a few minutes. It can drip into that bowl. And now we're going to fold in the flour. Don't stir because you don't want to overbeat the mixture. And you don't want to develop too much of that gluten. And when you're mixing, that's what happens. So folding is going around the bowl, down the center, fold it over. Around the bowl, fold it over, down the center, fold it over. And that's why they call it folding. Now, I got that about halfway done. So now, I'm going to add in the currants. So they'll get folded in as well. There we go. There we go. She's coming together quite nicely. A currant jumped the boat. Back in the boat, boys. Remember to go down through the bottom. Make sure you get any flour that's down on the bottom. You don't want that dry. Another one skipped the boat. They don't like the boat. Okay, we're almost done. There we go. So this has already been greased, the loaf pan. So it's all going in there and it's going to make one large loaf. There we go. There we go. Now, I'll spread that out just a little bit. It's not going to rise, I mean it will rise, but not like as much as a banana bread. That's what my experience was with the last one that I did. But this is going in the oven at 275, approximately 2 hours. Check it a little bit before with the toothpick, see if it comes out clean. If it doesn't, leave it for the full 2 hours. Check it again. If it's still not quite baked, leave it for another 10 to 15 minutes and check it again. Okay, so we'll be back when she's done. Hi everybody. Okay. So as you can see, it's a different day, different outfit, different earrings, so on and so forth. Okay, so here's what happened. The original recipe that made 2 small loaf pans would be perfect. I don't have small loaf pans, and I thought it would fit in one big loaf pan. Now my loaf pans are 9 long, 5 wide, and 3 inches high. So those are fairly large loaf pans. Well, it overflowed, made a huge mess in the oven, so on and so forth. However, it still tasted great, as you can see, because half of it is gone. So what I did was I adjusted the recipe, and I adjusted the recipe to the following, which fit my loaf pans perfectly. So I had to make a second one, which is great because today we are going to a function where I have to bring a treat to share. So perfect. So if you want to make one large loaf in your large pan, you can adjust the recipe to 1 cup of butter, 1 cup of sugar, 2 eggs, 3 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, half a cup of milk, half a cup of currants, but still use the rind and the juice of 1 lemon. And I put it in the oven between an hour and 15 and an hour and a half, still on 275. And that's perfect. Makes one large loaf. So that was my blunder for the week, I hope. But as you know, I show you my failures, I show you my successes, I give you as many tips as I can, and I hope it all helps. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope you give it a go. Enjoy! God bless! Bye!